Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We're going to wait another minute or so. People are still coming in. Please take the time to introduce yourselves in the chat. Tell us where you're here from. We want to see as many of you as possible, keeping us up to date with who you are and what you're doing and what you're looking forward to learning about in this meeting.
Hello, everyone. Hello, good day, good evening.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Pamela, should we start?
Yeah, let's start.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. And a good day. So I'm going to start our forum. This is the February meeting. We're focusing it completely on the upcoming 68th session of the Commission on the Status of Women NGO Forum. So we call it the NGO CSW68 Forum. And so welcome, and we'll just get started.
And I'd like to bring greetings and to really let you know how much Ivy and I and the entire NGO CSW New York Executive Committee appreciate your patience with us as we've been working through parallel events. And we want you to know that we met with VFairs yesterday. We had a long meeting, and everything, all of the issues that we've had should be ironed out by the end of today. So the speed and the logging in issues and the missing dates and all of those issues should be finalized and resolved. This is a new platform for us, and we're new to them, so we're working through. And we value you, our attendees and our members, and we want you to know how much we appreciate you. So thank you.
Hello, Rita.
So what to expect from this meeting? We are going to introduce you to the forum, and then Ivy and I are going to look at the differences between the UN Commission on the Status of Women and the NGO CSW Forum. Then we're going to have updates from UN Women, and we're going to look at reasons why should you even bother to attend the forum. After that, advocacy and research update, then YLYP update, and then we're going to have a session with VFairs on the virtual portal, and then we'll look at additional resources.
So what is the priority theme this year? It's up on the screen now, but it's the accelerating the achievement of gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls by addressing poverty and strengthening institutions and financing with a gender perspective. It is a very important, and as you can see, especially with the impact of COVID, I'm sure still being felt, and the pushback being felt globally, pushback on gender equality, that this is a very critical topic for us, especially since those who are most impoverished are usually women and girls. And financing is definitely a topic we have to address. And so it's not going to be probably the easiest topic. So negotiations will definitely be interesting this year. Okay, next. Okay, so the review theme is on the social protection systems that was agreed on a few years ago. That was CSW 63. So that is the review theme. Okay.
And now we are going to introduce you to the NGO CSW Forum. And the first question that we could ask is, why should I attend the forum? And the list of reasons is too long for us to cover in depth, but I'm going to give you a few. First, by attending, we give a powerful message. We're speaking truth to power, and we're letting those in the leadership positions know that women are concerned and that we want gender equality and empowerment. We come to the forum for learning and exposure, for networking, to join forces and to join voices with other feminists, with other women activists, to have a voice, to formulate concrete ideas that we can take back, to really look at advocacy and gender equality with women worldwide. We come so that we can review the progress on the Beijing Platform for Action, so that we can learn what's happening with that. We come so that we can promote gender equality and development and peace. We come so that we can identify challenges and emerging issues and take them back home. We come so that we can learn more about global standards for women throughout the world. And then we come so that we can really look at what does it mean to mainstream gender and to have gender as in a very prominent position in everything that we do. Next slide, please.
So do we go back to that last one, or?
No, I think that we're here.
We covered it. Okay. So the big question is, what's the difference between the forum, the NGO CSW Forum, and the UN Commission on the Status of Women? And this, no matter how many years we talk about this, how many times we discuss it, it's easily confused. People say, ask NGO CSW all the time, can you please issue my annual badge or my temporary badge? Or can you tell me, all these questions about badges and entering the UN headquarters, which is not our purview, actually. So everything outside the building is where the forum is going to be held. And so it's a civil society gathering parallel to the CSW. So during those 2 weeks of the commission, during March 11th to 22nd, we'll be holding our own forum Plus, we're going to talk about it later, but we also have a consultation day that kicks us off into the CSW. And it's organized by us, NGO CSW New York, which is pretty much like 90% like volunteer organization. This is a civil society registered. It's actually a registered nonprofit in New York, a 501c3 as well. And we host the virtual and in-person parallel events and other civil society-led events and activities. The parallel event process, you would be pretty familiar. Most of you probably are very familiar with it because, you know, we had the applications due in December, and you already got the notices, and you're probably very anxious to even learn about our virtual platform to see what it looks like if you haven't already started playing around with that. And we give recommendations based on civil societies, you know, our consultations with civil society and our viewpoints as civil society to input into the outcome document of the official UN CSW. So I'll have Pamela explain the other side.
So the UN CSW is the official UN Commission on the Status of Women at UN headquarters in New York. It is coordinated by UN Women, which is a UN agency. They host official side events that are organized by UN agencies, member states, and civil society organizations. So the organizational CSW has side events, and the NGO CSW Forum has parallel events, and many times people get confused. The side events require tickets in order to attend, and very often you have to register in advance, unlike attending parallel events during the NGO CSW Forum. During the official UN Commission on the Status of Women, the outcome document is negotiated by member states. And now we have the zero draft, which civil society and member states are looking at and trying to craft into the final outcome document, which is referred to as the agreed conclusions. And then for the official, the governmental UN Commission on the Status of Women, only ECOSOC accredited organizations can officially register. You must be a member of an ECOSOC accredited organization to get a grounds pass in order to attend the official UN Commission on the Status of Women. So I hope that this has been helpful to help you clear it up, and we'll keep going over it every time we meet. We'll try to differentiate so that you will be able to understand. Next slide, please.
Okay, so now we would like to introduce Johannes Lang, the civil society, who is from the Civil Society Division of UN Women. He's going to give a short presentation. And since his time with us is going to be limited, there are quite a few internal meetings he has to get to that are quite urgent. So if you have any questions related to his presentation specifically, we will address some of those questions now and not wait until the Q&A so that we can catch him. And that would be very, very short, but just please prepare your questions if you have any specifically to Johannes and UN Women. Okay, Johannes.
Hi, colleagues. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, so I will be giving updates on the part that Pamela described as the official CSW, not the NGO CSW Forum, but the official CSW, where UN Women is facilitating the participation of ECOSOC accredited organizations. And I think last time when we met, the registration was still open, but it closed on 26 January. And so to let you know that more than 10,600 representatives from ECOSOC accredited organizations have registered and have been approved by their organizations to come to CSW. So that's a very high number. And of course, not everyone will be able to come. Usually it's about half of registrants then actually are coming to CSW to the session, but that still means there will be 5,000 plus. We actually expect 5,000 to 6,000 or even more NGO representatives from ECOSOC accredited organizations to come to the session. So we are very happy to see this is a very large number, and we're looking forward to a very vibrant session. But of course, it also means that it will be necessary to also see what we can do to help with grounds pass collection, everything for those who will collect the grounds pass. And the UN Security Department has agreed to have extended opening hours for participants from ECOSOC accredited organizations that have registered for CSW and are here to open to collect the grounds pass. And we would really encourage as much as we can those representatives who are here early to basically make sure that they can collect the grounds pass before the session starts, because on Monday, Tuesday, like every year, we do expect very long lines. So there are extended hours. They start Friday before the session on the 8th of March, and then they go through the weekend. So on the weekend, on the Saturday and Sunday, the Pass and ID office will be open from 10 to 6. So we really encourage NGOs who are here already. Of course, we know that is very much linked to travel, to possibly strongly recommend to pick up the passes before. The opening hours of the Pass and ID office have been sent to every participant in an NGO advisory, but they're also published on the website. And maybe I'll put that in the chat as well, because there are some pages on the CSW website that are specifically dedicated to NGO participation. And these pages also have the complete schedule when grounds passes can be collected. And again, also coming back to what Pamela said before. So only those, it's just important to know that only those representatives who are from ECOSOC accredited organizations and are picking up a grounds pass for the UN Secretariat will have to come to the Pass and ID office. Any participant who is coming for the NGO CSW Forum will not have to get in line at the Pass and ID office. Every year we see that there's confusion about that, but we want to avoid that that colleagues get in line in vain. So please make sure that if you come to pick up your grounds pass, you have also your passport with you and your confirmation letter that every representative has received. It can be on the phone, but that will be the confirmation letter that confirms basically attendance at the official session of CSW. So that came through email once a representative has been approved by their organization. So just wanted to make that clear, and again would invite you to look at the schedule and then if possibly to come as early as possible, even on Friday or over the weekend, to collect the grounds pass. Also in the first days of the session, like in previous sessions, it will be necessary to pick up a ticket, a secondary access ticket, to go to the opening or to go to one of the ministerial roundtables. And as in previous years, there will be one ticket per organization for the opening, as long as we have tickets. And we will also start distributing those tickets to UN grounds pass holders, to NGOs who come to CSW and have picked up the grounds pass Friday afternoon already, after 1 p.m., and then throughout the weekend. We are not quite sure about where the distribution will happen. It used to be in the GA lobby, but now with the UN austerity measures, there may be at different locations, and I'll come to the austerity measures and the impact very soon. But just for you to know that starting Friday afternoon, organizations will be able to pick up a ticket, one per organization, that can be shared, of course, for the opening already, and also over the weekend. So then, of course, also Monday before the opening starts, there will also be distribution of those tickets that are still left, but they also can be picked up early. And there will be an NGO advisory, will be going out to all the registered participants. It will also be posted on the CSW website as soon as we have confirmed the location where these tickets can be picked up. And I'll just see some questions in the chat here. How will information about picking up tickets be communicated? So there will be an email sent to every approved participant, but we will also post it on the website, on the same page where now the page that you saw in the chat, where the opening hours of the pass and ID office are posted. We will also post the details how to get the ticket. Yes, there is a way to influence priority themes for the upcoming sessions. So I think CSW really is a great opportunity to connect with member states, also informally. But basically, that process is be discussed by the Commission. So the best way to influence is to reach out to your member states and to make recommendations for the future program of work. So the program of work will be discussed every 5 years, and the topics for the 5 years will be decided upon. So it would be very important to any suggestions to bring that to the attention of member states. Can you confirm that those who hold annual ECOSOC badges do not have to re-register? Well, they are encouraged to register for CSW so that they can have a confirmation letter if they wanted to pick up the ticket for the opening, for example, but they do not need to get in line. So thank you very much for that question. That actually is a very important question. If you have an annual pass, and a valid annual pass, you do not need to get in line at the pass ID office to get a CSW pass, because the annual pass will be the pass that you will be using for CSW. And if you additionally registered for CSW, you will have a confirmation letter and you will be able to pick up the opening ticket. But otherwise, that's the only benefit in a way. So if you did not register and you have an annual pass, you will still have access to UN premises, of course, and access to the meetings. How many tickets does each NGO get for the opening? There's one per organization, as long as tickets are available. So we have about 250 tickets. These are the number of seats in the GA hall, in the balconies. Once these 250 tickets have been distributed, then we will start distributing tickets for the ministerial roundtables. Yeah, it's one per organization as long as supplies last. So I quickly wanted to touch base also on, and I'll come to the questions in a moment, but I just quickly wanted to touch base on the austerity measures, because as you may have heard, the UN Secretariat is in a liquidity crisis because due fees have not been paid yet. So the UN Secretariat has been asked to conserve $350 million by August 2024. And accordingly to that, the Secretariat is no longer able to provide the services that it usually does. So it is very likely for CSW also that early morning side events and after hour side events will not be able to take place. And the CSW Bureau, but also we in UN Women, of course, are currently working with the Secretariat to see if there could be alternative rooms freed up for these events, to accommodate these events, so they wouldn't have to be cancelled. They would need to be accommodated during regular business hours. So it's just ongoing negotiations, ongoing work. So unfortunately, there's no definitive answer that we have today. And I know this comes at a very difficult time, because now would be the time where we would be publishing the full calendar of side events on UN premises. None of this is possible right now. But hopefully by the end of this week or early next week, there will be more clarity what the austerity measures really now mean for CSW, because also the Bureau has been reaching out to the UN Secretariat, of course, and what exactly it means for CSW side events. But again, even if side events may not be able to take place during early hours, meaning before 10 o'clock, and after hours, meaning after 6 o'clock, hopefully there will be the chance to have those side events somehow arranged in other rooms at other times, so that the impact can be kept to a minimum. But of course, that takes time, and unfortunately, the austerity measures came quite short before CSW. And this may also impact the timing of the NGO morning briefings. So in a way, we will see, hopefully we'll have more news in the next few days, how we can go about this. And we'll be certain to reach out to you, Ivy, as soon as possible to discuss how we can arrange for the morning briefings. Lunchtime events will be able to take place during CSW, but without services, meaning on auto sound. That also means no webcast. So it has to be discussed what would make sense. And hopefully we'll have more clarity from the Secretariat in the next few days. I also wanted to quickly mention that we see an email scam going around more aggressively than in previous sessions. So there always have been email scams around CSW and other UN meetings where email scammers tried to either get information or get funds from unsuspecting individuals. And we have seen an email scam going around and wanted to warn you. We also put it on the CSW webpage to be aware of it. We have seen an email scam going around inviting NGO representatives to come to CSW. Everything will be paid for. And this email originate from either secretary.net or eEcosoc or some fake UNFPA domain. And of course, we have submitted all these emails that we have been receiving from NGO colleagues to the information security teams of the involved organizations, and they're working on basically countering that scam, but it's still out there. So we just wanted to warn you, if you receive any email inviting you to come with all costs paid to CSW and to register, when registration is already long closed, then that must be the scam. So please do not engage with scammers, but also just to reiterate that the United Nations would never charge for participation in CSW, but would also not be able to fund participation in CSW. So any email that you receive, please be careful, and you can always send it to csw@unwomen.org, and we can verify right away if this is a scam or if this is a legit email. Maybe I'll stop here and happy to take any questions.
Johannes, there is a question in the chat about International Women's Day.
Yes.
Do you have any information about that?
The question, sorry, I'm just looking at the questions. Is information, yeah, I see it. Even though it is not happening. Yeah, so I think this is all still in the planning, because also it is not clear to the teams who are working on the International Women's Day how the austerity measures will impact. So what I can try is to relay your questions to colleagues. So unfortunately, I'm not able, I don't have any updates on International Women's Day, how ticketing will happen and if ticketing will happen and how access will happen. But please send the question to csw@unwomen.org, and we'll be happy to put you in touch with colleagues working on International Women's Day.
And Judy Dixon has her hand.
Please,
Your
Julie.
puppy's salary?
Judy Dixon. All right, Martha.
Yes, I would like to ask, let me clarify. For instance, right now, this year's, it's about 4 years, I think, since pandemic, I'm not attending CSW. Now it's getting a little more difficult, but somehow it seems that lately, since we are doing writing articles, as I wrote in the chat about, for instance, women's situation in a volunteer health system, that is a great contribution of women in the health system. What happened is, let's say one gets an invitation of any NGO who would like us to participate, whether it's a last moment discovery or someone couldn't attend or whatever. Is it possible to get the registration under those conditions, or simply it is closed down?
He was surprised that a police officer was there to see him, and he was either more.
Thank you. And we're going to take 3 questions, and then we'll ask Johannes to respond. Sheila Katzman.
Yeah, sure. Thank you much.
Thank you, Pamela. Johannes, thank you for this briefing. My question is, have there been any reason given for cutting 350 million by the GA or whatever time it was? Because you are in a place now where, right here, where you could inform us of this, and if there's anything we need to do by, going at our member state representatives or country, in order, to save what's going on at the United Nations at the moment.
Thank you, Sheila. And we're going to have one last question from Crystal L. Okay, Johannes, can you please respond to the 2 questions that we have? Thank you. Did we lose Johannes? Johannes, are you muted?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry. Yeah, so thank you for the questions. So for the first question, so if you're referring to registration for the official CSW, so that registration unfortunately has closed. So we will not be able to add any new registrations because we don't have the data anymore. That's already basically electronically handed over into the UN system for preparation. So we would not be able to add any CSW registrations anymore for the official meetings for grounds passes. However, as you know, each ECOSOC accredited organization has an option to request temporary ECOSOC passes. They're not related to CSW passes. That's a process that is managed by the DESA NGO branch. But we see every year that ECOSOC accredited organizations not only request CSW passes, but also request either annual passes or annual ECOSOC passes or temporary ECOSOC passes that will also would give access to UN premises. And again, this is not an official recommendation, but I just wanted to make aware that many organizations, if they have some last minute changes where a CSW registration for the official meetings is not possible anymore, organizations then make use of the temporary ECOSOC passes that they are basically can request from the DESA NGO branch. That's the first. And of course, if the question refers to NGO CSW Forum, then of course I'll hand over to colleagues to see. I think that here the deadlines are much more flexible, but that would not be for grounds passes and for the official meetings. And then Sheila, I'm not sure if I completely understood your question because I had problems with my audio. Was that in relation to the austerity measures?
In relation to the austerity measures, the reason for that, what it was explained. And another thing is, it seemed like UN Women is getting the crunch when it comes to the CSW. What can we do as members of civil society organization? Because CSW is important to us. It's critical
Of course,
to
yes.
us. and give parallel voices to what our member states are saying inside the United Nations.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Yes, so I think it would be really, it could be helpful to reach out to member states, because member states are trying to see how the impact could be mitigated for CSW. So to reach out to member states and to support them, and to really make it clear that CSW and especially side events are just a premier platform for engagement across multiple stakeholders, and for more interactive and informal engagement on UN premises and beyond that. So I think that could be helpful, that could support member states in making the case. The problem is, though, that I think at this point it's just very late. But I think any effort would be appreciated and helpful.
Thank you.
Any other questions at this point?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. We have to move on to other items on the agenda, but thank you so much, Johannes, for being with us and for your patient explanation in response to the questions. And I'll turn it over to Ivy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Johannes. So actually, we have a very brief commercial break. I'm going to call it a commercial break. An announcement from Pamela and I. We have a new member of the executive committee of the NGO CSW. We are so excited to welcome her to join our team. This is Lilian Nukunzimana. And she is from the Baha'i International Community. And as you know, Safira was a very dear executive committee member for years. And we are so happy to have Lily on board with us. Yes, we want to see your face, Lily. We saw you for a second. You were pinned. Okay. So welcome.
Thank you, Ivy. And you did a good job with the pronunciation.
Okay, you could tell I was nervous. Okay, thank you. We'll be seeing more of her in the months to come. So moving along, Pamela, is it my turn now? Talk about the forum. Yes, it's me. Okay, so consultation day, as I briefly mentioned before, actually this year it's going to be virtual and fully virtual. It'll be on the 10th of March. It's the Sunday before CSW starts. It'll be from 10 to 1 o'clock. So look forward to seeing more on that. We will mention, more on the program. But as in past years, we hope to have, high-level speakers as well as an expert panel. And we're also a sneak peek, a youth panel as well. And, yes. And we will have the in-person and virtual parallel events. Momin will explain more about the virtual platform later to walk you through that. The civil society briefings, those are morning briefings. Johannes also just mentioned that there's a possibility that that also the timing may change. We hope to secure the 8 that we have currently confirmed, but that right now the timing would be our normal timing, which is 8:30 to 9:15, and it would be in conference room 4 of the UN. And again, if depending on, again, with this austerity measures, we don't know, we're trying to webcast as many as possible. We're going to have a briefing every day except the first and last day of CSW. So the first day is the 11th and the last is 22nd. So all the ones in between, the 8 of them, we will have the briefings, and it will cover a variety of topics, not just the negotiations. So look forward to seeing more on that. We will publish the full schedule. We will talk about everything from Summit of the Future as well. There'll be discussions on all the other UN processes that involve the issues that are so dear and close to our hearts on gender equality, because it is a cross-cutting issue. So we want to make the connections as much as possible. So we hope it'll be very interesting for all of you. We have regional caucuses, as we have in years past. There'll be in-person ones during the first week. Then the second week we'll have virtual ones. And we've added a new caucus. It's the LGBTQI+ caucus. And again, more information, the whole schedule. I'm not gonna give you all the dates because you won't remember it and you'll ask me 10 times and I can't repeat it that many times. So the conversation circles will be based around our advocacy research group recommendations. And yes, so I'll stop there and Pamela will continue the rest.
Thank you. And Ivy, can I just add that for the social justice and poverty conversation circle, we're really excited because we're offering it in 4 languages. So it's not going to have interpretation. It's going to be led by people who are native speakers of French, English, French, and Arabic. So this will be the first time that we're offering a conversation circle in 4 languages. We'll have, so in addition, we'll have the most fabulous exhibit booths. The Fairs gives an exhibit booth unlike any other. So I'm excited for people to see the exhibit booths where organizers will be able to host many meetings where they can put handouts and other information. Additionally, we're having the Artisan Fair, where we'll have approximately 40 artisans from around the globe bring their handcrafted items. The proceeds of the sales, of a percentage, is to go back to help women's organizations. And then the healing and community space, which is an area where women and men who come to the forum can go just to cool out and to have yoga and Reiki and healing, meditation, and quiet time. And then a networking reception that we're still working on, but we hope to have something like a dance party at the Armenian Cultural Center, one of our 3 locations. So keep tuned, keep checking our website. And the Artisan Fair is in person. And that too will be at the Armenian Cultural Center, as will the healing and community space and the in-person exhibit booths as well. So on the right side of the screen, all 4 of those areas will be held at the Armenian Cultural Center. So it's now time to bring our Vice Chair, NGO CSW Vice Chair, Rosa Lazard, to talk about advocacy at the CSW68 Forum.
Thank you so much, Pamela. Greetings, warm greetings to everyone. Saludos. I'm going to talk to you about advocacy at the CSW, beginning with our advocacy and research recommendations. Maybe I think we go to the next slide now. We have a group called the ARG for short, which takes time, usually starting in the summer, maybe August, and we develop an advocacy plan looking at recommendations. We, of course, research the priority theme and the review theme, and together with the executive committee, we brainstorm some main thematic areas that we feel need focus. So through that process, we develop a set of recommendations, and then we take it to you. We take it to our constituency in the form of a survey. So in a sense, you have decided what our main priorities are. Through this survey, we selected 5 main thematic recommendations and 1 youth intersectional recommendation, which really picks up on all of these recommendations. You can see them here. I'm going to go through and just highlight what we've done. And I just want to thank the members of the ARG because this work is very detailed, committed work, and we have a set of committed partners who have taken the lead on every one of these recommendations. So in brief, let me just highlight some of the points on the first one, which is social justice and poverty. We are emphasizing a just and equitable economic model that includes social justice and human rights to eradicate women and girls' poverty, as well as addressing and eliminating the root causes of poverty. We're emphasizing that the persistent repressive backlash against women's human rights must be countered by eliminating harmful attitudes, norms, and belief systems and addressing human rights violations and abuse. For recommendation number 2, education and poverty, we're highlighting a gender-sensitive curriculum free of harmful gender stereotypes, as well as making curricula and pedagogies relevant for today and tomorrow with the comprehensive and integrated system of education and lifelong learning. For recommendation number 3, which is the intersection of women's poverty and climate change, we're emphasizing effective and sustainable design and development of adequately financed policies and programs to combat climate change, including in the area of agriculture, in order to eliminate multiple and intersecting economic challenges. Climate finance, a just transition, access to land and technology are needed to support mitigation and adaptation efforts, and particularly the loss and damages in countries and frontline communities. Our 4th recommendation is gender bias and economic policy. We emphasize a feminist gender analysis that is needed to be incorporated into economic policies to include its differentiated impact on women, including the impact of colonization. We emphasize closing the gender gap by equal pay legislation, pay transparency, and gender balanced leadership, as well as promoting equitable access to financial services through non-gender discriminatory policies and practices. The 5th one is on the debt crisis and its impact on women, urging governments to recognize and address social services such as health, education, water and sanitation services ignored, which funds are diverted to pay for public and private debt. We also push for the donor countries to fulfill their commitment of 0.7% of GNP, or gross national product, for ODA, official development assistance, and further to earmark funds for gender equality and women's organizations. Moreover, we support debt cancellation for recovery from a global downturn while investing in gender-sensitive public services, the care economy, and climate resilience. And the 6th recommendation is this youth intersectional recommendation, which, aside from emphasizing all the other 5 and the impact on youth, it emphasizes a gender and youth perspective intersecting all of these issues to ensure that young and future generations are not trapped in a cycle of poverty. Moreover, financing youth-led, adolescent-led, and girls-led organizations and networks, that it's long overdue and urgent action is needed. So these are the 6 recommendations. They are on our website, along with citations and resource brief, which, if you need to substantiate these recommendations when you're doing advocacy with the member states, that you can use. Now, all of these issues are in the zero draft, and they do need for you to advocate with member states. They do need pushing. So they're developed in bite-sized, very member state digestible language, which you can copy, paste, send to an email emphasizing these in your area of expertise. So let me just turn in a couple minutes that I have to the advocacy toolkit. So this is a great 29-page toolkit for those who are just starting out, for those who have a lot of experience and want to reorient themselves or look at different new tips relating to this CSW. But this toolkit has wonderful information, the basics about the UN, the CSW, the NGO Forum, how to advocate at the CSW and beyond with member states. There's information about women's human rights instruments and gender equality, the Beijing Platform for Action, the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, CEDAW, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. It has a section on how to engage and advocate within and throughout the negotiating process, and also tips for advocating online with digital advocacy and social media. So as you can see, we are ready for all of you to come to the CSW, to engage online if you can't come in person, and really push for these issues for this CSW. We know that this outcome document will impact future processes, such as the Summit of the Future coming in September, such as the Financing for Development Conference and the Forum in April following, and the International Conference on Financing Development, which will be next year, parallel to Beijing +30. So we're so grateful that you're here. I haven't checked for any questions, but I will do so right now in the chat. So thank you very much. And I think I'm passing on to the youth leaders and young professionals.
Great, thanks, Rosa. Hi, everyone. My name is Annabelle Gregg. I'm the co-program coordinator with Rachel here. We are both brand spanking new and also helping with the youth leaders and young professionals for CSW68. So I know we're eager to talk a little bit more about the forum itself, but we wanted to give a little plug to this great youth program. It's a community of young people and youth activists who are passionate about global gender equality and are looking to engage and learn more about the UN. So Rachel can talk a little bit about the events and youth spaces at CSW68 this year.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to see everyone here and all of your questions and engagement. It's just great to see how excited everyone is for the forum. We have a lot of opportunities for youth engagement leading up to the forum and during the forum. Right now, we're running our youth preparation series, which the next two and last two events will be held this Wednesday and next Wednesday. So please be sure to check our website for more information about those events. Our youth leaders are really incredible, and yeah, you don't want to miss them. There will be youth panel conversation circle. There will be a youth panel at the conversation circle during the first week of CSW. And many of the NGO CSW New York events have a youth representative facilitating conversations and ensuring young people are represented in conversations around CSW and the priority theme. And any more announcements and events that we have, opportunities, will be included in our mailing list and on our website. So please be sure to check for that.
Yeah, and I'll just plug our Global Youth Fellows. It's our newest program this year. We received over 500 applicants for this fellowship, and we selected 20 awesome young leaders who are chosen for their dedication to gender equality, diversity of experience that they bring to the UN, and their ability to inspire others. So we'll put a link to the chat of the 20 Global Youth Fellows from NGO CSW New York right now, so you can read about all the amazing work they're doing. They're leading global campaigns to raise the visibility of gender issues. They're speaking at our events this year. They're telling their inspiring stories and supporting efforts to advance global gender equality through a youth perspective. So lots of youth opportunities this year, and we will put more information in the chat and in follow-ups for young people that want to be involved in the forum. So now we'll pass it off to Momin to talk about what we've all been waiting for, the virtual portal training. Momin, whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
Okay, can you can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you all are doing great. Okay, so let's start the training. Let me just quickly share my screen. Okay, Annabelle, can you please give me an access? Okay, thank you so much. Let me just quickly share my screen and let me know when you see it. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yes, we can see your screen. You just open it on the board. We can see it.
Yep, thank you so much for the confirmation. Okay, hello everyone.
You're
So
most
today
welcome. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Okay, so today training is about attendee, how we can log in into the event, how we can register for this event, how we can then log in into the forum, and we can go through different navigations. So first, how we can register as an attendee, we just have to click on register button. So before we can start to register, let me just go back. So how we can access this landing page, we have to go to this NGO CSW68 Forum.vface.com. When you land on this landing page over here, you have to click on register button. You can click over here or in the top navigation bar. Click on the register button. You will be land on this area, the registration form. You will be able to see different fields listed over here. You have to put your details over here. So now I'm going to put in my first name, my last name, my email ID, the organization, the age, the gender field, the region. After that, we have to select our country. And then the last question we have, is this your first time to attending NGO CSW? We have options yes or no. So you can select according to your requirement, then click on save. And once you register, you will be land on this thank you page over here. You will also be able to download this visa letter as well. And also you will be able to receive this confirmation email as well. When you are done with the registration process, you have to come back and now you can log in into the event as well. You just have to click on login, enter your email ID, which you have used for registration, click on login button, and then you will be redirected to your inside of the event. So the first thing you will be able to see this exterior lobby. First event will load. Okay, so Once you're registered, when you click on login button, enter your email ID. Okay. You will be land on this exterior lobby over here. You will be able to see an exterior lobby. The cars are moving. You will be able to see this button over here pops up, enter the NGO CSW68 Forum. When you hit on that, you will be redirected to this interior building and the interior homepage of the event. After that, you will be able to see a different navigations over here. We have in the top navigation bar, we have a home page, we have forum agenda parallel event, we have a virtual booth, exhibit booths, we have a handbook ad sponsor section, we have information desk section as well, we have lounge section, we have networking hub, and we do have attendee section as well. Now first we'll talk about the forum agenda parallel events. So as an attendee, if I would like to explore the forum agenda and parallel events, I have to click on this option. I will be land on this auditorium area. And then I have to click on this middle big screen. This whole area is clickable. Just click on it and you will be land on this parallel event section. You will be able to see all these events listed according to their dates. You will be able to see March 11th. We have these sessions going live, March 12th, March 13th, 14th, and so on. Now, as an attendee, you can explore each of the day accordingly, and you can create your personalized schedule as well. Let's suppose I would like to add this session into my session or into my schedule. So I just have to click on add to my schedule. This is added, this one as well. And if I would like to go now to March 13th, and over here I can see these sessions. Let's suppose I can add this one. Now I've added 3. And then after that, once I'm done with all these sessions added into my schedule, I just have to click on my schedule option. It loads and then it will give me all the sessions I have added into my schedule. So as an attendee, you will create your personalized schedule. So on the live day of the event, you don't need to go in each day. You just have to click on my schedule. You can see and you can join the session according to your requirement or that given day. So these are in-person event. Now we can go to again maybe March 11th. And add some virtual sessions. So I can scroll down. So you can see that these are virtual sessions. The timer is going on. So as in virtual session, you will be able to see the time, the timer is going on. So when the timer will be over, the join button will automatically pops up. You just have to click on the join button and join the session accordingly. So if I would like to add this one into my schedule as well, I can do it. Okay. Now if I just go up, click on my schedule again, you can see that this session as we have added, and this is now showing in my schedule as well. So that's how we can, as an attendee, I can create my own personalized schedule as well. You just go in each different day and add those sessions which I'm interested and wanted to join through the virtual platform. I can add it into my schedule as well. Now we can explore the virtual booth section. So as an attendee, we have this space available as well, the virtual booths. So right now you can see that this is our area where all the booths would be listed over here. Right now you can only be able to see this booth listed over here, but moving forward you will be able to see the different booth name would be listed over here. But today we'll talk about the functionality, like when we land on this area, what we need to do and how we can communicate with the booth representatives. So this area, you can see that clickable. So I can click on it. And I'll be redirected to this page. So this is the booth listed over here. We have different banners over here. If I scroll down, we have different menu tabs are listed over here. We have a company section. We can see the description area. And then we have a video section as well, where we can see all the videos are listed over here. Now, how we can communicate with the booth representative. So you will be able to see this chat button over here. We have enabled this chat button right now. After this training, we will disable this chat button, and these chat button will only be available on the live day of the events. But how the attendee will communicate with the representative, they just have to click on this chat button, and they will be redirected to this chat room automatically. Over here, this is a public chat room. They can communicate, they can send messages over here, and the booth representative will be able to see those messages and communicate with you accordingly. And you will be able to see different about us link over here, the Instagram, the social media link listed over here. Similarly, when you are exploring different booths, you will be able to see different navigation bar, their company description, their documents, and video would be listed under this section. Okay, now we can explore the handbook ad sponsor. So if I click on handbook ad sponsor, so that's a different section. We have categorized advocate, the supporter, the ally, and the friends. So if I talk about the advocate, supporter, and ally, you will be able to see their logos would be listed over here. And if you would like to explore, if you would like to see their details of their event or their booths, so you just have to click on their logo and you will be redirected to their particular booth, and you can review all the information and talk to their representative accordingly. So the representation is different for the handbook ad sponsor, but once you click on it, you will be redirected to their booth accordingly. But right after that, you will be able to see a different template, but the presentation of the content will remain the same. And the chat button, you will be able to see the chat button over there as well, and you can communicate with handbook ad sponsor representatives as well. But keep this in mind, the advocate and the supporter and ally would have their booth space. Only the friend ones, they don't have a booth space over here. So they only have an external link option. So right now you can see that we have added these three friend their graphics over here. So when I click on it, I'll be redirect to their website or whichever their link they would like to promote over here. You can click on it and you will be redirected to their space and review the information accordingly. So this is our handbook ad sponsor section. Now, if I move into the information desk area, so over here, we have different navigations. The forum agenda, if I click on it, I'll be redirected to the forum agenda. If I click on this banner, I'll be redirected to the exhibit booths. But in the middle, you would be able to see this tech support. Right now, this area is not clickable, but on the live days of the event, this area would be clickable. And similarly, just you click on the chat button. Similarly, when you click on this banner, you will be redirected to a different chat room that's called tech support chat room. So on the live day of the event, if you face any technical issues, you can refer back to this. You can go to that particular chat room, mention your issue, and the team will assist you accordingly. So this is about the information desk room. Now we have a lounge section. So once you click on the lounge section, you will be redirected to this space. Over here on your right hand side, you will be able to see different tabs listed over here. Right now, all the tabs are not working because we have not mapped yet. but these are different chat rooms with different space we have designated over here. But if you scroll down, you will be able to see this networking tab. It is clickable, it is functioning to just give you an idea how you can communicate and on the given day how the other chat rooms will be working. So once you click on this networking tab, you will be redirected to a different chat room. And over here, you can see that already some or couple of users already posted some of the messages. You can also posted some of your messages over here as well. And similarly, if you are a speaker or speakers, or you would like to promote your events as well, so you can use this space and put your upcoming events and let the attendees know so they can refer back to the parallel agenda and they can add into their schedule as well. So they can utilize this networking space for promoting their events. Now, as an attendee, when I click on it, you will be able to see this chat room over here. So let me just explain. So over here, if you would like to close this widget, you just have to click on this dash-like icon in the extreme right corner of this widget. You click on it and the widget would be closed. If you click on it again, the widget will be open again. Question mark, if you click on it, you will be redirected to the external page where you can see some best practices mentioned over here, like the which browser you will be accessible for this event and so on. If I click on it, so I'll be redirected to this troubleshoot guide. So there's a different guiding there are different troubleshoot mentioned over here. So if you're facing any issues, this will also assist you. Now on the right side, we also have a notification icon. If I click on it, so let's suppose on the given day, you have joined multiple chat rooms and there are a lot of communications are going on, but there are a lot of notification sounds are coming, but you don't really like that. So if it's really annoying you, so when you click on it, you would be able to see these two options: enable notification for direct messages, enable notification for all chat room messages. So by default, both of the checkboxes are checked. But if let's suppose the direct messages means your private communication, if you are already having a private communication like one-to-one communication with any other attendee or a speaker or admin. So if you would like to mute those notifications, you have to check mark this one, uncheck this box. And if you are joining networking chat room or a different booth chat rooms, or if you would like to mute those chat rooms notification, you can just uncheck this box as well. So this would apply globally. So if you receive, it doesn't mean that you will not receive next new messages, or you will not be able to start new conversations. You will be able to receive all those new you will be receiving new messages. You can see the notification as well, like 200 messages, 300 messages, but you will not be able to hear any notification sound after when you uncheck these boxes. Now, right now, then we have another option that's called expand. So if you would like to see this chat area into a full screen, you just have to click on this expand option, and then you will be able to see this chat widget area into the full screen. And if you would like to compress it, you just have to click on it again, and then it will be redirect to the original position again. The last option we have, the download contact cards. So each and every person has their own personalized contact card, which they can share. And let's suppose on the live day of the event, there are multiple users who have shared with you a different contact cards. So you don't need to go to, you don't need to download each individual contact cards manually. You just have to click on this option. And then the system will, right now, no contact cards found. But on the given day, if you have shared or multiple users or multiple other users have shared with you their contact cards, so you just have to click on this option and the CSV file would be downloaded in your system. Now, how we can access our contact cards. So if I go to my top corner of my profile, I would be able to see this contact card option. If I click on it, I would be able to see different fields. My first name, last name, and email information will automatically populate, but the other information I have to manage it, like which information I would like to share, I wanted to share with other users. So I can add it over here, save my data over here, and then I can share my contact card information in the chat rooms. And if you notice, we have two different sections on the left-hand side. All the messages would be listed under this section. And there's another section we have called people. So you will be able to see a people section over here. We can see there are other attendees. We can see admin are also logging in onto this event. And if you notice, when I hover on any person name, I would be able to see this chat now button. So when I click on this chat now button, I would be able to start a private communication with that admin or other attendee or a speaker. Now, if you able, so we can cover the networking hub option as well. So if I click on the networking hub option as well, so over here you would be able to see a different tables would be listed on the live day of the event. Right now we have added only 2. This is just for your understanding how exactly that would be look alike on the live day of the event. But moving forward, you would be able to see different table would be listed over here according to a different topic. And right now you can see that this one is already have a join table option. So you just have to click on it if you would like to explore how you can join that table on the live day of the event. So you just click on it and you would be able to join and you can see the process accordingly. But on the given day, all the different tables would be open according to their time interval. Just like you can see that over here, this table we have added, so this table would be going live in 19 days, 23 hours, 41 minutes, 9 seconds. This is a timer going on right now over here. And you would be able to see that the table who would be moderator by this user, this moderator of this table as well. So when you click on it, you would be able to see their name would be listed over here as well. The who will be moderated, you can see their details as well. So now how I can join this table, I can just click on this join table option as well as an attendee. You can see that, and I can join this room as well. Similarly, I can choose my own seats as well over here in this section. I can, if I would like to sit over here, I can click on it, or I can sit on this place as well. The very last option we have on this platform, this is attendee section. So you would be able to see all those attendees who have been registered for this event. Their details would be populated under this section. Yes. Let me just quickly refresh it. So on the attendee section, you will be able to see all the list and you will be able to see the chat buttons. So you just have to click on the chat button and you can start a private communication with other attendees as well. Okay, so we can look into this, but the attendee section will only able to show you all the attendees who have been registered for this event, their list would be listed over there. You can just scroll down all the list. You will be able to see on the right hand side the chat button, and you just have to click on it and join the conversation and start the private communication with that attendee accordingly. And if there's a limit, yes, you can start as many conversations with those different attendees. But what we recommend, once you are done with any of the conversation, please close those active messages from here. Like you just have to close this conversation. So the chat timing would be so it would be very easy for you to manage, and you can communicate with the active communications accordingly. Now, if I am on this networking chat room, I would be able to see there is 7 people right now on this chat room. How I can see their details, I have to click on it, and then I would be able to see there are 2 different sections, the Bootstrap online section and the online user section as well. So all those admins, speakers, and their booth admins would be listed under this section. And all the attendees who have been registered for this event, they would be listed under online user section. Then you would be able to see there are 3 dots. There are settings available regarding to this chat room. So we have seen that from the top navigation bar, we have a notification option, but how we can restrict, if I would like to restrict any particular chat room notification, not others. So you just have to click on 3 dots, click on this notification option, uncheck this box, and moving forward, you will receive the messages, you will receive the upcoming conversations, but you will not be able to hear any sounds. Then the next option, chat room user, this is the same. If you can access it from here as well and from here as well. Then there's another option available, set color. So if you would like to change your, by default, you can see that the text color is black. But if I would like to change my text color to any other one, let's suppose I would like to change into the green, save it, send a message over here. So you can see that my text color has been changed now. Then if you would like to invite any user into this chat room, you can easily be able to invite it. Just click on invite user, search that attendee name over here, and then add it over here. If I search Min, I would be able to see there are different moment listed over here. If I would like to add this one, invite it, and you can see that adding moment to this chat room. Or similarly, you can share chat room links as well. Let's suppose you are in a different chat room and you would like to share if you would like to ask other attendees to join this networking chat room, you just have to click on share chat room link, copy it, and share it in that particular chat room. So whosoever click on this join chat room button, they can be redirected to this networking chat room. The last option we have, the exit chat room. So when you click on it, exit chat room, the communication will automatically be closed. And how I can access my chat room again? I can go to the lounge again and click on the networking button over here. And then you can see that the networking chat room will automatically pops up over here. Similarly, if I close and accidentally by the booth chat room or a handbook ad sponsor chat room as well, just go to their booths, click on the chat buttons, and you will be able to see their chat room options again. And you can see that all the previous communication is there. So we have not lost. So if you accidentally close it, the communication, each and everything remain there. You just have to access it again, and you will be able to see the communication again. And similarly, just like we recommended, if you are done with any of the conversation, I've been communicating with, let's suppose, 5 different other users. Now we are done with the conversation, just close those chat rooms and start with the new ones. So it will help you to communicate easily on the chat live on the chat platform. And your conversation will be saved. If you would like to access it again, just go to that user, click on the chat button again. Let's suppose I've been communicating with, let's suppose, Jennifer, and after done my conversation, I've maybe accidentally closed it. No problem. Just go to the people section, find it, click on the chat button, chat now again, and you will be able to see your previous communications again. Okay, and if you while scrolling, you will be able to see this home page, forum agenda, and the lounge section have these logos are scrolling on the bottom. So there would be a handbook ad sponsors, logos would be populated over here. And what exactly the functionality, like when you click on it, on these ones, you will be redirect to this handbook ad sponsor page. And after that, you can do your navigations, click on it, redirect to the advocate representatives to see their further details. Similarly for the supporters, so the functionality will remain the same, but their spaces, the information would be different. You can talk to their representatives. Similarly for the ally, the only difference is for the friend, they don't have a booth space. They just only have their redirect link, which when you click on it, you will be redirect to their external link, which they have provided. Okay. That's it for my side for today. Let me stop sharing.
Thank you so much, Momin, for that thorough overview of the platform. And I know that our attendees are now really excited about attending the NGO CSW Forum virtually and the ability to go on and to do a search to see what side events, what parallel events they'll be able to access. So now we're going to move on to additional resources. And after Annabelle and Rachel make their presentation, we'll have a Q&A period. So Annabelle and Rachel, the floor is yours.
Sure. So we won't say much. We'll reserve a lot of time for Q&A, but what we're going to be sharing in the chat and also in a follow-up email to all of you are some resources that will make this a lot more easy to understand. We'll be sharing links to the training videos that have accumulated and prepped for the forum, including our open forum recording, which was a few months ago, our advocacy training, which will be really helpful as participants getting ready to be involved in the forum, and then our 2 parallel event organizer trainings that have happened. And I will also note that we have a parallel event organizer training part 3 tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. I will have Rachel drop the link to register for the Zoom in the chat, but again, we will be sending that out immediately after this meeting. So if you are an in-person parallel event organizer, that'll be really helpful. And we'll also drop some frequently asked question documents in the chat, more so for parallel event organizers as well, but like tech facts, in-person parallel event facts, and also information on how to have a safe and secure experience at the forum via our safety guidelines and principles. So again, we'll drop those in the chat so you guys can peruse them. And we will also be sending a follow-up email to everyone, but we'll pass it to our organizers from NGO CSW New York to do our Q&A and answer all of your questions. Thanks.
Okay. I don't see questions in the chat, but we have time if you want to raise your hands or put your questions in the chat. And the first question is from Todd.
Pamela, I'm wondering if we can spotlight us on the video, maybe. And I don't think we need the Q&A slide because it just says Q&A, but yeah, that's probably better.
Thank you, everyone, for the fine presentation and the time today. Just 2 quick questions. With regard to the parallel event, we've already set up our parallel event, but I see in the calendar function there that there has to be a link to the virtual event that we have set up. So I assume that has to be done on the back end with the training with VFairs. So that's one question. Perhaps Moment can answer that.
We're going to take
Yes.
3 questions and then answer them. So,
Okay, all right. Okay, and the other one is for networking hubs, they seem separate from parallel events. Do networking hubs have to be set up in some sort of calendar if you want to do a networking hub? And those are my 2 questions. Thank you.
okay. And Dr. Ife.
Thank you, Pam. Sorry, my question is not for the last session. Actually, I have a question for the UN person.
Okay, he's no longer here.
Can I?
He had to
Okay,
leave.
but can I ask me, because any of you can actually answer the question. It's just a very small question. Okay, so I remember he mentioned that that NGOs can pick up the secondary pass, either from the lobby or something. I just want to find out, did he say that we can pick it up the Friday, that's the weekend before the actual opening of CSW? And then where are we going to pick it up? Thank you, Pam.
At the pass office. He said that the pass office will be open for you to pick up passes there.
No, the secondary pass, for the opening session.
Yeah, so I think there will be clearer instructions, like closer to the date. And in the past, UN Women has always sent an email to all the participants. That's the ECOSOC registered NGOs, and then you would know specifically where to pick it up, if it's outside the visitors entrance or, but I would look out for that, unless, I don't know, Pamela, did he say specifically?
I just know that the grounds passes are picked up at the office, but as far as this, no, he did not say any other location. And in the chat, there is a link to the website, UN Women website, and I would suggest that everyone continually check that website for more information. A list of side events will be there, as well as any other information. And the third question from Soon Young.
Yes, I think several of us want to know 2 different dates. One is, when will all the events be listed on the NGO Forum website, on our virtual platform, the date for that? And when will the UN side events be listed? If you know that, that would be great.
Okay, so Moment.
Okay, so we can go with the first question. I think it is from Todd. Okay, so Todd, I think you asked about how we can, like, you have already set up your virtual event. You just wanted to ask, like, do we need to add the URL as well? Definitely, if you are doing a virtual event, you have to add your virtual meeting link in the URL field. So on the live day of the event, so when you can see that in the virtual event, there's a timer going on when the timer will be up. Let's suppose your session at 10 a.m. And let's suppose at 10 a.m. the join button will automatically pops up. So attendee just need to click on the join button and they redirect to your meeting. Just like you have joined this meeting. Similarly, when they click on your meeting join button, they will be redirected to your meeting where you're giving your presentation on a virtual platform. So it's totally up to you. Like you are wanted to have a Zoom meeting, Google Meets, Teams. So similarly, others, if they have the same question, you have to add your Teams link or meeting link according to your which session or which platform you are comfortable. Just add your meeting link in the link section, and you're done with your virtual event session. And that's a really important part in the virtual event. So because on the live
can
day,
I ask a question kindly?
Excuse me, if you
Okay, sorry.
Wait, yeah, thank you. Moment, continue, please.
Yep, no problem. So, yep, just like we mentioned, this is a really important step for the virtual event platform. Like, so if you're managing multiple virtual events, you have to add each and every single meeting link in your URL field section. If it's going on different dates, different timings, you have to add those meeting links and populate those fields accordingly. And then, so on the given day, attendees will be able to join smoothly.
The moment there was a question about the networking hubs.
Yep. So I think the networking hub, if they are asking about the chat rooms, that is open, they can promote their events over there. But the networking hub is specifically under NGO CSW. So like we internally working on it, like what topics we wanted to publish on those networking tables. So we populate the information accordingly, and I think Pam or any other person would like to cover up like I don't think we like you are giving those rooms to all the parallel events organizers so they can add their rooms over there. Like it is totally on a different topic based networking rooms. That is so other attendees and speaker can also join those conversation and get those details accordingly. Correct me if I'm wrong if it's anything.
And then Sun Young's question.
Thank you so much.
Yep, no problem.
Ivy, I don't know. Sun Young's question, when will the dates be listed?
I think so. Hudi and I put it in the chat about the side events, but Johanna said, it just really depends because of the austerity measures. And also to keep in mind that, the UN meeting hours are like 10 to 1 and 3 to 6. So everything outside that is probably going to be impacted. That's the projection now. That's why he actually had to also leave early because there are all these emergency meetings to figure out if that can be mitigated. And also, if that means that like he said that they're trying to find other meeting space, during the day. So maybe that's going to change the timing for some of the side events. That's why they're holding off as much as possible on publishing it, because then that wouldn't be accurate information that you'd be receiving. He would want to get that updated, but there's so many details to be figured out before that. So that's why it's being delayed this year later than normal, so yeah, that's all I'd want to say. And then our parallel events are listed actually, and I believe the times and dates, the times they're all up there now, should be. Sorry, the long weekend, I'm catching up.
Okay, 3 more questions, Ula, then Kodu, and then Joyce.
Thank you so much. And thank you for the presentation. And we have to get used to your new platform, and we are working on that. I have a question. Last year on the other platform, we had this opportunity to search an organization and see all the events that they have during the 2 weeks. Is that possible for us on this platform?
Thank you. Kodu?
Yes, thank you very much. This is a wonderful platform, and thanks for Moment for the detailed support and demonstration. I just wanted to know whether it's too late to organize an event, a virtual event, or can we still go on the site and do so right now?
Thank you. And Joyce? Joyce?
Hello, good afternoon or good evening to everyone. My question is not related to this. It's about the letter issue for us to take our visas. I couldn't convert from PDF. Again, the first sentence you have been registered for. I remember UN programs. I went to the embassy. The embassy told me that registration, approval of registration is different from invitation. So I don't know whether the first sentence, instead of registration, will be invitation, so that we'll find it easy to get the visas to join such important programs.
Thank you. So, Moment.
Thank you.
The first question is about like how we can search their organizations. like just like they have referred to the last year, like they have, if that functionality, they can search it out, different organization with their names, and they can see in which they are doing a different session. So definitely, like we just go to the search option. You have a search bar, just type the organization name. The search will automatically find out through the keywords. If they added those names into their descriptions, they will automatically give you their organizations sessions into a different, let's suppose in 11th of March, 12th or 13th, if they have already organizing a different session or different dates, so they will give you the summarized list over there, and then you will easily be able to add into your personalized agenda or a personalized schedule.
Thank you. And Ivy, do you want to respond to Kodu's? Is it too late to organize a virtual event?
I'll pick that up.
I was like, going to Hootie, please.
Yes, unfortunately, once applications are closed, we cannot add more parallel events. And I just have to say that we really try to limit parallel events. And again, we have almost 800. We reduced the hours, we reduced the days, we made the virtual more available. And as you know, we have almost 400 virtual and 400 in person. We even did what Ivy and Pam wanted, partnered people. So we really can't add any more parallel events. Thank you. Pam, you're muted.
Thank you. Okay, and then Joyce's question that she could not convert the visa letter from PDF. Moment, do you want to take that?
Oh, that shouldn't be Moment either. I already responded in the chat. She's more worried about the wording as well, and we cannot change the wording. We are hosting a forum and providing a letter to all those who register. We cannot officially invite 8,000 people to the forum, you know, and we've said this before. Unfortunately, thousands of people are taking this letter to their embassies and they're not finding it successful. There's not much else we can do. I know UN Women is doing their best from their end too, but if a country, US embassy is not going to issue a visa, there's nothing else we can do. Sorry, Pam, to jump in, but I wanted to.
That's fine. Okay, let's move on to the next three questions. Gita.
That's Gita. Hi.
Gita.
Thank you, guys. Last year, we were allowed to change our title and our summary, and I'm hoping that the deadline has not passed for doing that. Do we just go on the virtual site and do it ourselves? Last year, we had to send in the information by email. Is that still the case?
Thank you. And Cynthia.
Oh, my question is about a password. I'd seen several mentions of that in the chat that people have tried to get on after their original registration. I've not tried recently, but it would be good to know. And just quickly, somebody asked about consultation day. I'm pretty sure they said it's March 10th.
Fantastic. Thank you. Nothing like positive reinformation. Thank you. And then Sheila Katzman. Sheila.
Hi. You know what? Forget it. It's no, I'm gonna go with it. Uri, you remember we went to Congress, right? To meet with people about visa issues and so on. And just for the lady, I just want to comment on the woman who asked about the letter, you know, be changed or whatever it is. What a U.S. embassy is looking for, I've learned from our members, is that somebody is going to sponsor you in the United States. They're going to give you accommodation, they're going to feed you, they're going to pay your airfare, so you don't become a burden to the United States, and that and guarantee that you're going to return home back to your country. That's what we gather. We can correct me, but that's what my members are coming up with. Right? So whereas IAWRT, we can say, okay, we'll pay all your bills and I can use my home address for them. Your NGO has to do that.
Thank you, Sheila. for your wise counsel. So, Momin, Gita's question regarding change in title and summary.
Yep. If they do have your permission, so they can reach out to us through email and we can update their title accordingly. So there's not an issue. Just check with NGO CSW. If they give you permission, we can happy to assist you and we can change your title accordingly.
So they should email parallel events at ngocsw.org. And we'll put that in the chat. And then Cynthia's question regarding her password.
Yep. Okay. So regarding like if your password is not working, let me just quickly share the email ID in the chat. Okay, so you can send us an email. Okay, I've just sent to Sheila. Let me send to everyone. Okay, this here you go. So you can send us an email on this email ID with your title, your event ID, and each and every information. So we can look into that and we can assist you accordingly so you can access your event in 24 hours.
Excellent. Thank you, Momin. And before Hootie or Ivy responds to Sheila's question, I just want to say that this has been the most amazing response that I've ever seen. We've had over 1,000 requests for visa letters. And then we found that some people who requested visa letters didn't know what to do with them. And then they thought that we were supposed to issue the visa. So it's for people who are in other countries, it's very confusing. And we hope next year to have a process that can really make it much more simple and streamlined in a way that people can understand what is required for entry into the United States. Yeah. So I don't know if Hootie or Ivy have anything to add.
Thank you. No, I just put it in the chat too. I agree with you. I do see Alison Brown repeating this one thing over and over again. I don't know if she had a chance to ask. Can Momin just reconfirm that it's a password to get in? Nothing has changed. We're upgrading all the access as much as possible.
Yeah, and yesterday we were assured that the whole issue with passwords would be resolved. So I want to commend Momin and his team because I think that NGO CSW Forum hit them like a load of bricks that this is their first time working with us. And for them to get such a response, 800 parallel events, I think was overwhelming. It was overwhelming for us in the office as well as for VFairs. So I think to be fair and kind to them, we extend grace and we know that we have a promise that it will be resolved by the end of the day. So Momin, thank you for your patience and for your diligence, because I know that what you have gone through has not been easy. So thank you. And Connie, you have a question?
Thank you very much. I'm from the Medical Women's International Association. I've been working on the back end for my event, and I didn't understand what I was doing right away, and I erased one of the speakers that was already listed. And when I tried to put her back in, they kept saying that the email was a duplicate. So I don't know what to do. Is there anything I can do?
Yep. So basically, you are adding an email and they're giving you an this pop-up message like the duplicate email. Can you confirm
Yes.
that the speaker is already presenting in other events as well, or is because there's now two issues, like maybe there's an already presenting on other events as well, or they already
No,
registered with that email ID with an attendee
she
account, just
registered with
like I've
that
just.
email ID and, well, anyway, and I can't seem to add her back to my session because I
Yeah, so
deleted
just
her by accident.
just share with us that email ID on that email address we have shared in the chat. We can look
Okay.
into that and we can add it into your event accordingly.
All right, thank you. Share it now?
Yep, you can send it right now. Yep, and you will
Okay,
get
thank you.
response in 24 hours. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So our wonderful co-chair, Ivy.
Yes.
You'll close the meeting.
I'm gonna close it. If I had a gavel, I would hit it now and say we are concluding this meeting. And we look, oh, Lindsay, I do see your hand. We have a few minutes, like we still have a few minutes if it's something you, oh, it
Thank
disappeared.
you. Yeah, and I'm here.
Okay.
I just put my camera on. Just a quickie. We've noticed that we converted New York time to English time, but we've noticed now that the time has changed slightly. Is there a time change in New York while CSW is going on that means that when we thought something was starting at 12:30, it actually starting at 1:30? Is there some sort of time zone change going on in New York while we're in CSW that would make
Yes,
that?
actually we lose an hour that Saturday. Well, most people would change it that Saturday night, the 9th. It's actually the 10th, like in the middle of the night, it changes. This seems to be every year, actually often when our consultation day takes place on that Sunday, a lot of people get mixed up with the time change, and usually that's when it's happening. But yeah, we lose an hour. So, but it should automatically already be converting, I believe, in the system. But
that was the issue. It was like, oh, what's happened now? But that's fine. Okay, as long as I'm aware of that, because I'm going to be in New York and people are going to be watching it in England. I want them to know what time to come in.
yes, so it would definitely be different from the time difference now. Yes.
Okay, that's great. As long as I know that, that's fine. Thank
Yeah,
you.
okay. Great, wonderful. I'd like to take a moment also to thank, the team in the office. So Rachel and Annabelle, and now we have the two interns, Zoe and Arena, and of course Hootie and Pamela. Thank you so much, and the whole executive committee. This is a huge team effort, and I really appreciate everyone and all of you for showing up, and we really look forward to seeing you virtually or in person. Oh, I see one more hand. Is it okay because we have 5 minutes to Ms. Sando? I can't say it right.
Tula.
Tulam
Sindo. Tulam Sindo.
Okay.
Yes. Greetings to everyone. I just want to say thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. In South Africa, this is my first time to come to this event, and I'm so excited. But most importantly, the presentation was so insightful and inspiring. One just odd thing from my side is that I'm not sure as to whether we're going to have two events, meaning the side events and the main event of the UN. I'm not sure what you're talking about when you're talking about these two events. If I could just get clarity so that when I come there, I don't get lost. Thank you very much.
Yes, sure. That's a common question and easily mistaken. So the side events are all happening within mostly in the UN premises and usually hosted by a member state or UN agency. And usually, NGOs can co-sponsor that, but that's usually taking place within the UN, and some of them are taking place like in the missions and other places. The NGO Forum hosts all parallel events. So most of you who, all of you who had applied for an event for the forum, that's a parallel event. So just to keep those two in mind, that they are different. Yeah, the side events and parallel. All right. Thank you. That's very exciting.
Thank you very much. It's clear now.
Okay. So
Thank you.
thank you, everyone. Please open your mics and we'll all say goodbye for today.
And turn on your cameras.
Yes, we want to see you.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
you.
Bye. Good night,
Bye for
family.
today.
Adios.
Bye for today.
Stay in
Hello.
touch.
Bye.
Stay safe. Stay safe. Bye
See
bye.
you
Bye bye. Bye
guys.
bye, ladies. Bye bye, ladies. Bye bye, mommy. Thank
Adios.
you.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye. Thank you,
Bye bye,
ladies.
Resh.